Shit, what happened to it?
Rolling. And we're live 2 hours late.
Man, we're not 2 hours late. We're only an hour 45 late.
There we
go. But Colin's Conversations, I always let the guests introduce themselves, and today's the first time that we have two guests introduce themselves, but you guys are kind of the same entity, so however you guys want to handle that, go ahead and tackle it.
At the camera?
Wherever you want to go, man.
Which camera specifically?
Yeah, let's do this one. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? I'm Mark.
And I'm Sam.
And we are Skeleton Stewdios.
That's correct.
And they spell it a little bit different than a lot of people that go studios. It's S-T-E-W, and that's, see how smart I am. We have Sam Skeleton and Smart Stewart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of combine them.
Almost, you're so close. So it's Sam Skelton. My whole life, everyone said Sam Skeleton. So that was the first little pun.
Gotcha.
There. Skeleton.
So you helped explain it right
there. There you go.
Yeah.
I fell for it too.
Yeah, a lot of people call me Stew or iterations of that.
Stewie.
Stewie.
Yeah. So it was like Stew, and then we're like, well, it's Studios.
Right.
It was also pretty hard to find a name.
And I also, when I was looking at it, kind of the marketing brain in myself, I was like, all right, there's a lot of Skeleton Studios. Maybe that's just that separator point of like, no, we're the S-T-E-W one.
Right.
And we also hope to just be the one popping up, whether you type it either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been working on the SEO to get it to work either way.
And for those of you, anybody that's watching or listening that doesn't know, give them a quick rundown of what all do we do at Skeleton Studios.
Well, we make movies for clients, we make photo packages, and we also run a YouTube channel. And we have a pretty cool studio here in Cleveland too. Yeah, like our home base.
This is 2.0. What can you tell everybody about kind of the beginnings of Studio 1.0 and kind of how all of this, I mean, this is, like you said, it's an epic studio. How did all of this, what came to get you here?
So our first studio was actually in Mark's apartment. He had an extra bedroom and it wasn't being used. So Mark grabbed a little bit of extra of the rent and we kind of like just took it over. Oh man, see his studio's falling apart.
The project just fell down?
Yeah. A sound panel just fell for you watching.
Yeah, my phone in front of the camera.
So yeah, we had a small, what was that room, like 15 by 12 or something?
And something like that?
Yeah, we just kind of built it out so we both had a desk and we had a little animation overhead rig and it was pretty much just an editing space. But it was a cool spot because we could bring people together. There was a couch and...
we did have an animation table in there too, which was cool.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I probably would have fucked up and forgot towards the end. A lot of that slow motion animation stuff that you guys do, I love it.
Thanks, man.
Especially being the creator myself, knowing that I'm not at all patient enough to do that. Like, how many times you guys had to go move a little ball that moved across the table or anything like that? Like, those little details really stand out. And a lot of times, like, you'll do that and then put it, behind like you guys jumping off cliffs. You're like, what else could you want? You got creative, you got adventure, you got it all.
Yeah, we've been lacking that a little bit in our content recently, but we have a new overhead rig going in the corner over there, and it's gonna be sweet. We want to integrate that in pretty much every video we put out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys have been working together for what, 10 plus years, right? Since early high school?
Yeah, since 2005.
I think I saw something, you said that before, and I think it's 2006. I might be wrong.
Well, yeah.
It was
the fall of 2005.
It was a couple months in 2005, but
I only say that because I did a deep dive enough to know that you guys said something and then had a little asterisk and be like, no, it was one more.
But yeah, you got your research in there.
I'm nowhere near a Nardwar, but I always like to kind of find the balance of an interview of like, I want to do enough research that like when I sit down, you're like, all right, this guy actually put in a little bit of time. Like, there's a reason I'm sitting across the table from him, but still leave enough of that open window of like, all right, now we could actually find something new that I have no idea and completely fuck up the whole interview and go a different direction.
Sam and I actually met in a video class in high school. It was called Interactive Media.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was amazing.
All kinds of different stuff, like, making videos, web design, animation, whole variety of things. It was a 2-year class, and we basically started working together right at the beginning of class, like first day.
It was surfing or skateboarding or something like that? Snowboarding. Together, right?
So I had interest in the class, but I really only joined the class because I had like 3 years of snowboard tapes and I had no way to edit them. And I knew if I got in this class that I'd have a computer so I could edit. So we went around, the teacher went around and had us all describe ourselves. And I was like, I'm Sam Skelton and I love snowboarding. Or no, it was Mark. I'm sorry, I said it wrong.
I think I said I love snowboarding. Sam's in the back of class. He goes, yes!
And then we went and became snowboard instructors at Alpine Valley, and then that kind of just, the drive back and forth was like 30 minutes. We just kind of connected there. And
that's awesome. You guys have always been out of Northeast Ohio?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you moved around a little bit, but that's kind of like the upgrowing was all kind of...
we started making movies together then at the end of high school, and then we didn't really pursue a company together until about 2015. We started really talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were in high school, we always said we wanted to make a film production company, and we called it Stew Skelts back then.
I think you guys did a lot better with the name.
Yeah.
Kind of that little bit of maturity gave you a lot more creative with the name, right?
Our first videos were pretty bad, but they're fun. They're class assignments, you know?
Right. And that was, you guys were in high school, I think I saw, 05, 06 in that area? Was that when that was, right?
Yeah, we graduated in 08.
And that was the beginning era of YouTube. So you guys have kind of been creators that whole length of YouTube, and now you're kind of making that extra push to really
oh my god,
set yourself above and beyond. It's that tape, man. You got to use better tape.
I know.
Well, now that I said when we graduated, we did not meet until 2006. I was mixing that up in my head.
What?
We met in 2006.
We did?
Yeah, that was the beginning of 11th grade. 2006.
Oh shoot, you're right. Yeah, see, you are right.
Common conversation.
Really
I'll tell you how your history went, goddamn.
Yeah, you know better than I do. Shit.
Lately, the last couple episodes, I've been really good with that, like diving deep enough. Where the last episode I just put out was Antoine Dunn. I had a CD cover of his from 2012, his last thing he put out. Apparently, he didn't even have that case, and I was like, oh look, I got it. Or then Juice Shrug, who does the Color Radio podcast, another creative group in Cleveland to kind of look into. My wife ended up going to the same high school as he did. And I was listening to his podcast, kind of getting a little bit of background information, and I was like, wait a minute, St. Joe's, around the same time. I was like, hey honey, do you have a yearbook, from that time? She's like, yeah, I'm going through. I was like, haha, I found him. Looks 1,000% different than he did in high school. So to be able to kind of like get the interview going and bring that up front of the table, like, hey, look what we got.
That's
like,
funny.
Dude, doing your research as a podcast host is huge. Too. Just getting the conversation going. That Sean Evans about ones, man, he's on top of his game there. Man.
I'd like to be at least at one point, I'm saying like 5 to 7 years from now, I want to be a perfect blend of Joe Rogan, Nardwuar, and Sean Evans.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there is the perfect interview skill set. Kind of, I don't want to have to eat hot chicken wings every day. Like, I'd eat chicken wings like a motherfucker if we didn't have to have, 8,000 Scoville. Yeah. Which is crazy. You ever go, after watching that show, you ever go to like Tapatio or, and look at what they have on there, you're like,
I've tried some of those hot sauces.
Same. I've tried Da Bomb and The Last Dab.
Da Bomb is
Do we have footage
insane.
Of that?
Yeah. No.
No, we love that show. We actually experimented with a parody show of that for a little bit for YouTube.
What was it going to be?
It's called Cold Ones. And you slam beers.
I've heard about that.
At the very end, there was a shot, and it was like a dirty whiskey shot.
A Black Velvet.
And on episode 2, we did a couple trial episodes. On episode 2, the other contestant puked.
Like on screen, he threw
awesome.
up. It was so gross, dude. He was like foam.
I'm trying to remember if it was on the podcast episode or if we talked about it before or after. Those things always get blurry to me. Of like, what did we record and what did we just talk about? But I think that might have made it on the Skuff Micksun episode. Because he was training for that, by the way.
He was, I remember talking about that actually.
He was training.
He wanted.
It didn't really require training, I don't think.
It was like a half-hour episode, and you drink 6 beers?
It was 6 beers split with the contestant. And I'd ask him questions.
But Mark was the host, and I have like 12 years of bartending experience, so I would curate the beer menu. And it would get stronger and stronger and stronger to the point where you're drinking like 12% beer or 9%.
Just like how the Scovilles go up, you're getting more flavor.
Yeah, exactly. More flavor, more alcohol percentage, and then by the time you're like full,
you were pretty fucked up by the end. It was like on a time limit, and it was like I think a drink every.
If you get that back going, you should make it like a stipulation of you have to show up on an empty stomach, like just to make it hit that much quicker.
We'll probably bring.
With that idea, I kind of started to be like, I don't know if I want to like have to get fucked up every Wednesday.
I think that might mess up your monetization areas too, right?
Yeah, maybe a bit.
You might have to do that on kind of like a parallel channel.
Yeah, for sure.
But that brings us in. We do have. I know I told you guys we keep it kind of pretty loose, but we do have a couple segments. And I made a mention, so we might as well go to it now. It's a segment I call name dropping.
Okay.
I'm going to throw out a name either that I know that you guys know, or I've kind of seen names, kind of side by side. I want you to tell me how you know them and what people should know about them, and if there's any stories that we're able to tell.
For sure.
Give that background of everybody. And the first one we already mentioned, we'll go with, who is Skuff Micksun?
You go first.
Well, I think you met Casey before I did.
I've known Casey since Casey was in one of my best friend, Tyler Grant. Was he on your podcast?
He's not, and he didn't show up either time that Casey was on the podcast. So Tyler, you have to come the next time. Actually, he's been on 3 times. So Casey's been on 3 times.
Yeah.
And Tyler hasn't been there.
Tyler does a lot of writing for Casey's guitar.
Yeah, he's an awesome guitar player.
Yeah, Tyler's a great guitar player. But I met Casey and Tyler were in this band in high school called Beneath Broken Halos.
Okay.
And that's when I met Casey. So I met Casey when I was like 16. So we got a lot closer when I moved to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And
were you guys living in Chicago at the same time?
Yeah. So okay. Tyler and I were working on a lot of music then, and we met Casey. So I've known Casey since we were like 16. So 15-ish years.
Gotcha. You guys also have some of the best archives of the Skuff Micksun music, where I figuring that I've done a couple interviews with him. I've gone through the whole discography.
Yeah.
Also something that he never, ever, ever advertises. There's a SkuffMicksun.com out there.
Yep.
I made it. It's nice. But kind of like, I thought I was pretty, fluent on this discography, and I was going through some of your guys' older stuff. I was like, this shit is good, and I've never heard it.
Yeah.
So Casey, bring that back out. I don't remember what songs, but bring them all back out.
Yeah, Casey and I jam out a lot, and lots of times the songs that we jam out turn into songs that he puts out, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
So kind of like, sort of sometimes write with him, which is fun. And yeah, man, we've made a ton of music videos together.
I've seen a bunch of guitars in your stuff. What else do you play? Anything, or is it just guitar?
I'm a singer, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, guitar, singer. Mark's guitar.
I play guitar, bass.
So you guys just do every bit of creative then?
I could do a little bit of piano.
Do you guys read music?
I can read like alto. I used to play cello when I was a kid.
Okay.
So.
I used to be able to. I played trumpet. But I want to bring it back to meeting Casey, because I want to tell you guys my side of it.
Yeah,
I have a pretty funny story.
Casey's the homie though, yeah. Like, one of my absolute best friends, and we love creating together.
Casey's the dude, he's the man. First time I met Casey, Sam had known him for a little while, but I didn't really know Casey. And we were over his house, hanging out in his room. He was showing us some tattoo stuff. And Casey's a really small dude,
Right.
He was still probably a teenager at this time. And he had a Pediasure on his table, and he was drinking it. Pediasure is like the little chocolate milk drink for
trying to put on some pounds,
scrawny kids. I saw it. I didn't want to say anything, and Sam just straight called him out. Just started laughing. He was like, "Dude, are you drinking Pediasure?" We all just started busting up.
That
was my first interaction with Casey. So
yeah, a little bit on Casey's.
That's great. The next one I'm name dropping.
Love you, Casey. Sorry.
It's all love, Casey. You already know. Colin's Conversations, big supporter, Skuff Micksun, everything that they do. Next one, Josh Dobe. Who is he? How do you guys know him?
Josh Dobe. I met Josh Dobe also through Sam. Sam worked with him at Melt in Menor.
Okay.
And I would go in and visit Sam all the time, and I ended up meeting a lot of other people that he was working with. And Sam actually had Josh in one of the vlogs during our vlog challenge.
Yeah.
That's what you guys were at now. I know I saw that one.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
It was where you were trying out Josh's burgers. He was
oh yeah. Josh was working on a food truck for a while. I think that fell through, but he was in a couple of the vlog episodes.
Right.
I don't know. That's where I met Josh, and we've just been dabbling, working with him here and there, and friends with him, and.
Absolutely. You guys were in a company together, right?
Yeah. So, I met Josh at Melt years ago. We helped open the Menor store. Mm-hmm. So I've known him since that was 20. When did I move home? Like 2011 or 2012.
Right.
Is when I met Josh, and we just became friends at the store. And then I moved away multiple times and kept coming back. And every time I came back, Josh was at Melt. And I kind of used Melt as my
your fallback.
No, it was just always they're so cool about me leaving and coming back.
Right.
And it was a great paying job, so I was doing that. But when Mark and I started the company, I would just hassle Josh at work every day because he hated it. And I'd be like, dude, like, you know, like start doing fun stuff again, because he's an amazing singer. Like he's a crazy screamer.
Like heavy metal, right?
Yeah, there's this band called Demolisher, and that kid's got that like classic like, like crazy scream going. And he like, you know, he wasn't doing that as much, and I was just trying to be encouraging. And Josh is a really good dude, and yeah, we started a drum company together, which has since done, but it was it's all like super good learning experience. Like
we worked on a few other projects with Josh. Like Josh was getting into video along the time we were like building the studio.
Yeah.
And Josh
he helped build the
studio
too, a couple days.
Yeah, he filmed some here. He came along on some of the Arios music video for Skuff Micksun.
And he helped with the Ink music videos too, our first music videos we put out.
So yeah, he's been like behind the scenes in a few projects.
Yeah, good dude though.
Yeah, I put out one of the clips that we were talking, you know, it's funny how some things hit and some things don't.
Yeah.
He had such a good little, not a rant, but kind of a nice little clip about how he learned everything that he learned about business from heavy metal. And like, it's one of those, like, it's such a good story, which I gotta not do what you do in a lot of them and figure out how to be link up there. Almost every time you do a link, you put it in a different spot.
Well, one thing that happened to YouTube changed, you can't do those links anymore. So the old school ones, in those old videos were like link up here, there used to be a link up there, but now you can't do that.
Why is YouTube trying to make you guys look like that?
Now all you got is it on this, if you're looking at the screen, it pops up in the top right-hand corner.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta do left.
Like that's why I don't do those, because I'm like, now I gotta remember in post which way.
Yeah, right here. This is correct. Link right here. I'm on the right side. No, is it over there?
Yes, it's and same with like end screens. They change every couple 6 to 8 months, and sometimes it's 10 seconds, 8 seconds.
Yeah.
If YouTube could just stay the same for what, 2-3 years, how great would that be?
The YouTube Studio they just launched a couple months ago is pretty much fixed all that stuff. If you haven't downloaded it, download it.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, that should be updated.
It was beta for years. Now it's like solid.
I think I know what you're talking about. Just the regular, you click your channel, boom, boom, right there.
Yeah, YouTube Studio. Yeah,
their analytics are way better. It's like way more information than there ever was before.
Yeah, it's good.
Absolutely, and you guys probably pay more attention than a lot of people to analytics, because you guys have hit really well on a couple. And
decent, yeah.
Did you guys end up finishing? How close did you get to your 100 video goal?
We could talk about that. That's a good segment on its own.
Yeah, we actually really dove deep on that in our Patreon exclusive podcast, which is only on our Patreon. But we basically got to a point in the year where we were about to charge and make a video every day for like the rest of the year. Yeah. And we went to Vid Summit, which is a YouTuber creative conference in LA. Yeah. And we learned so much information about YouTube and how it works, and basically it was kind of just like pulling back the curtain of like, here's how you make it on YouTube. Like, we were surrounded by like every creator you've ever seen on YouTube. Like Casey Neistat was there, Peter McKinnon was there.
So it's just everyone you can imagine if you're in the photo video world. Like, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Tons of people, and basically what we took away from that is if we complete this challenge and make a video every day, those videos aren't necessarily going to do anything for us. Right. And we've kind of seen that from a lot of our other videos, and we're like, you know what, we need to rethink our approach, and we decided to not.
It was tough because there's like you're battling between like your word and your integrity, because we were like very public about it. We are going to do this.
We're not quitters either.
No, definitely not. This was kind of what happened. The year before we did not a huge amount of business. So going into 2019, we were like, oh my God, we're raining sound panels right now.
Yeah, we just put up some sound panels at the beginning of this podcast.
We need to get some better glue.
Falling down off of the ceiling.
In the little corner of the screen, we need what, 1, 2, 3? Is that number 3?
Yeah, that's 3. Okay, so yeah, back what I was saying, we didn't do as much business, so I think going into it, we were like, 100 videos, which 100 videos isn't really that crazy. But we get into this year and all of a sudden, like, our business like doubled, and we were doing a lot of work for other people, and we kind of got behind. And it was nice though, because we like scaled back on our side jobs that we were working, and we're working a lot more on the business. But in that, it's kind of like something we couldn't foresee happening.
Right.
So yeah, dude, it was really strange. But we talked to a creator we really admire. His name's Cody Warner.
Okay.
And he did this great keynote, and we watched him. And then after, we got to talk to him, and we like told him our predicament. We're like, yo, dude, you know, we owe like 70 videos, and we have 3 months or whatever, you know. And he's like, what should we do? And he basically gave us some really cool advice, and he was just like, tell your audience what's up, you know.
Right, yeah, just say you're sorry, you know.
Yeah, say like, sorry, it sucks we couldn't do it, but you know,
Absolutely.
it's just.
We really realized it just wouldn't be worth it, and what we really took away from the conference is, and just like analyzing our channel and what's successful and what's not, is we need to find a balance of what we can accomplish in a certain amount of time and what we're proud of. Because a lot of times we would go at YouTube, we'd really make it like a little bit too grandeur and think it had to be this like big thing, this cohesive thing that always like flowed together. Not saying that it shouldn't flow together, but like I think we were just making the production too hard for ourselves for what YouTube is. It's okay to be a little vloggy, sloppy, you know, quick sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, basically, yeah, that was an interesting time, but that's pretty much the whole idea of the studio now is like, we're just about wrapped up, so it's gonna be a really easy place to put together something that is pretty good quality quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, just from what this place looked like 2 hours ago when I walked through the door till now, it's 100% different. You know?
Yeah, it's wild.
You can move this back to where it was and interchange 1,000 different things and keep it moving.
Yeah.
I left one person off of the name dropping.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about Rum Tum.
Rum Tum. Oh, that's awesome.
Rum
So he is actually about to be my brother-in-law, which is the coolest thing in the world. Yeah. So Rum Tum is John Hastings. That's his musical identity, like artistic identity, I should say. He does his art through that.
Rum Tum.
Yeah, Rum Tum. And yeah, super solid dude. He has been going for years. He's had multiple like write-ups, and he's very professional. He's an incredible artist. That's it's John Hastings.
He's not just a musical artist either. He's actually really killing it right now in like huge, large mural art.
That's awesome.
So he's located in Denver, Colorado, and he actually gets hired quite a bit to do murals for like new restaurants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Starbeam. Do you know if I say it?
I feel like that name's. I feel like I should know that name. I feel like that's come across my screen.
Yeah, he actually works a bunch. I think he's still in Lake Effect Studios behind our building.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, John does a lot of cool art. He does like kind of like trippy, jungle-esque, a lot of shapes.
It's like earthy.
Yeah, earth vibes.
His new thing he's working on, which I cannot wait to see, is 3D murals. So he's actually
That's
awesome.
like those
making
people that like on the sidewalk, they make it look like you're about to.
No, not like that.
down.
Those are sweet. But like actually like pieces, like the art, like it's actually like multiple pieces of, like he's like constructing murals that like come off the wall.
That's sweet.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
That's awesome.
So yeah, like I don't know.
If you go to Denver and drive around, you'll like see some of his art.
Yeah.
I hate driving around that. Anything in Colorado, I hate driving around.
Really?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to go back and forth. My dad moved to Seattle like 6 or 7 years ago. So being a landscaper by trade, you know, I never did snow. So I'd always have the winters to either go travel or kind of just regroup and everything. So once he moved out to Seattle, that was just that perfect, like, look for that window of halfway decent weather across the country, throw my dog and a whole bunch of shit in the back seat of the car and go across. And the last time that we came back, my now wife, girlfriend, then we went through Colorado and everything. And like, it's crazy how here you see like rock slide signs and you're like, oh, whatever, mudslide, whatever. Like out there, it's not any snow and they're out there with fucking plows because like the thing just fell off the road. There's no turn. What am I trying to say?
Guardrail.
No guardrail. And you're just like,
there's some scary turns for sure.
Yeah, and then Colorado also, we got pulled over twice within a mile for a headlight out.
Wow.
Which, I mean, that was our first time coming through Colorado, and we were definitely fully Colorado enthusiasts, and like
they're super into you having Colorado plates. Man.
Yeah, I get it. We got Ohio tags, but like you could have seen us get pulled over back there. You guys pulled me over every 100 yards. I cannot get to the store to get a new light bulb in time. And it's like 8:30. Let us go. But yeah, Colorado is a great place, but I don't like driving there.
Yeah.
Same with like Montana. Montana's my least favorite place ever to drive through because
it's pretty boring unless you're in the mountains for sure.
Absolutely. You go through those ranch areas though, and like it's 200 miles of one lane paved.
Yeah.
I mean like one lane plowed, and then you're like, I should go over, but I feel like I'm gonna die, and it's 2 degrees out here.
I'm gonna die.
Everybody out there is looking at me like I'm crazy at a gas station because I got like blankets rolled around me. Trying to I need 20 on 2, man. You know, and they're like in shorts and flip flops, like it's -20. My breath is turning into ice. But you guys have both. That's a good segue too. You guys have both done a shit ton of traveling. It seems like. What type of tips can you give anybody that's listening or watching of people that want to vlog and want to create but really want to make it look that professional adventure that you guys are doing? Is it just the equipment? Is it style? What makes for a good way to kind of capture your travels?
Couple tips I would say, like shoot strategically.
Yeah, kind of know what you're trying to do, like what you're trying to shoot.
And also like contain. Somebody's knocking on the door.
Yes, we'll take a little pause.
Pause.
Oh.
I wonder if that's an Amazon package.
A couple tips for travel, I would say contain what you're shooting and shoot strategically so you don't have a ton of footage to sort through. And kind of think about, where are you going? What would be some cool segments like time lapses? Are you traveling from point A to point B? Like get some time lapses along the way, maybe a little bit of talking points along the way. Shoot some footage at the epic thing you're going to do, and if you can get a story in there and like kind of tell the audience a message and really deliver your message at the end of that adventure, I think that's a good method.
Yeah, if you look at our older travel videos, it was more just kind of like splurging whatever we thought, like it's just kind of like a montage of the trip.
Right.
And now like the most recent one we put out was called Obsession. It's a climbing video.
Say, is that
the rock climbing one? Yeah, and what we did with that one was we used a friend's Instagram post, like the description of what he wrote, and he read it, and that kind of carried the whole story.
Right.
And to me, like that is just like so much more entertaining to watch when there's like some sort of story behind it.
Yeah, I think too with like I think that's where I came up with the rum tone. Is you guys do a really good job of balancing music with what's going on, and kind of like that one that you're talking about by having that kind of like that epic build-up music, but then also having that narrator.
Right.
Which I work with a lot with authors, like doing their marketing and stuff, and so many authors are just killing themselves making this shitty little, stock photo iMovie trailer for their thing with no words, no nothing.
Yeah.
They get that epic little dun 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 beat, and you're like, I'm bored after 2 seconds of that.
Yeah.
Like, read. Like, give me a voice, give me a face. Like you're saying, like, visual is great, but without a story or without some sort of something to keep you into it, why am I going to keep watching it? You know?
I think beyond just the shooting aspect too, we kind of like pick our budget before we leave, and we are like crazy about making it as cheap as possible.
Right.
So we're always trying to cook as much food as we can, making sure that we're completely self-sustainable. I don't want to have to ask Mark for anything. Right. I don't want Mark to ask me for anything. Like even like toothpaste, it's just like
if you break your leg, you're on your own.
Yeah, right. No, but being like super travel savvy and being like self-sustaining on the road is huge, and that's how we can like. I mean, last year one of our trips was like 22 days or something. Yeah.
Right.
So like just being self-sustaining, and the same goes with you asked about gear a little bit. Like you really don't need a whole lot on the road. Handheld works pretty good. Handheld, drone, GoPro. That's all I have in my bag.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time I travel, I'm like, I need less.
Yeah.
Especially like clothes and stuff too. It's like if you're going on a 7-day trip, you do not need 7 sets of clothes.
You don't need a ton of clothes. We like
limit the clothing.
Yeah.
You don't need 7-day trip a pair of pants, you know, good jackets, be definitely warm enough, but like you don't need stuff in shirts.
No, yeah, I started bringing like less and less cotton, stuff that I can quick dry, because I'll wash my clothes in people's sinks.
Yeah,
like straight up.
I'm not a good messenger of this today. Now I'm looking down, but like I used to love polo. I still love polo, but as I've gotten older and done more adventure stuff, Columbia makes the best fucking clothing in the world.
Dude, it's pretty affordable too.
Yeah,
Columbia
like
stuff.
I've got this raincoat that I think I bought it in Seattle. It was I don't know $150 maybe, which you know it's not cheap for a coat, but this thing, no matter what temperature, is great. It's got the little like NASA lining on the inside.
Yeah, that silver lining.
Yeah, that little shiny, reflective type stuff, and like no matter if it's 20 or 40, like you're comfortable. Like to buy that one coat that also like bundles up and you roll it and it like fits inside the hood.
Yep.
Like to have a couple pieces of clothing like that, or like the same type of material with pants. Like you get 2 pairs of those and you're good for a week, unless you shit yourself.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Once again, if you have those quick drying underwear, dude,
right?
Just wash that shit off in someone's sink, you're good to go, dude.
Absolutely. I want to knock off another one of the segments. We're going to change this. We do this with musicians a lot. I call it discography discussions. Since you guys, I mean, you make music, but you're more known for your video. I want to go a little bit more of a deep dive into a couple different of your YouTube videos that kind of I watched, I liked, and I kind of want to see a little bit more of like, what did we not see of it? The first one is one of the most epic ones that you guys have done. That again is why more people haven't watched this one. I don't get is. What is the backstory behind the tiny igloo home? How long did that take to make?
I was so pumped you asked that.
Whose idea was the tiny igloo?
What's up, guys? I'm gonna give you a tour of our igloo tiny home. Let me just get changed out of the snowboarding gear real quick. Whoa, buddy. We'll get in here. Start out here first.
2.5 days digging that out.
I think we had it up. It was like, well, it wasn't just me and Sam. It was like 3 to 4 other friends at different times helping us dig. I think it was like 30 man hours.
Yeah. It was huge though. So from the stair,
you had like a 30-foot slide, I think, right?
Yeah. The slide that stopped went from the top and then out to the bottom. There's a cool courtyard. There was like multiple pissers. There's a staircase that led up. But if you were standing at the bottom of the staircase up, it was like 13 feet tall or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was insane, man.
We slept in there.
Yeah, we slept and partied in it one night. It was fun. We had a big campfire outside.
And was that just at a resort, or where was this?
No, it's in the backcountry.
On the side of the road.
Yeah, it was on Uray Pass.
Okay.
No, Mullis Pass.
It was like a trailhead.
Yeah, it's like a trailhead.
There's a little parking lot there.
Colorado is almost all national forest, and you're allowed to camp anywhere.
Okay.
So.
That's one thing, like being from Ohio, like I'm so, anywhere that I travel throughout the country, I'm so anal about where I park my car and where I sleep.
Yeah, because you're just going to get bothered by the cops no matter what you do. You know?
Absolutely.
It's so annoying here. Yeah, it's one thing I could definitely like to see change here.
I have a similar story to you. I was sleeping in my car in PA. I was actually doing like a little camping trip, and I had 2 different cops within like 10 minutes come and knock on my window. And it's like, get the fuck out of here! I just talked to you.
Like, don't you guys do reports? Isn't like when I had it, it's like, did nobody go on the radio to run Ohio plates, and then when the other guy got behind me, not think, that's probably the same silver Kia with Ohio plates that we just heard on the radio.
Yeah,
but out west, it's way more lax.
That igloo video was crazy though, man. I like that. That was one of those videos where it like went from being like about the igloo to like we just kind of started ad-libbing.
Right.
And
how'd the Santa Claus suit get in there? I'm sure you guys aren't bringing Santa Claus suits for every.
We brought the Santa Claus suit for actually a different video concept. It was kind of like a Christmas story video we were gonna shoot for like next Christmas, like a holiday video.
Yeah.
And we didn't end up doing that. But we were like, hey,
we got a Santa suit.
Throw Santa in.
Caleb was down to be Santa.
It was a random stupid video, you know? But I love how it turned from, like, I've never seen like a Cribs parody where like the host hates the cameraman. Like I thought that was so funny. You like do that.
I think that's kind of why I decided to bring this one in here. Once you're like self-sufficient, you're like, no, dude, that's the last beer. You can't have that.
Yeah. Keeps offering stuff and then taking it away.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the more unique. Like you said, like I didn't even think about until you said cribs. Like it didn't click, but as soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, they had the mannerisms, they had the tone, they had everything.
Yeah, totally.
I had made a couple cribs back in like high school in our video class, and that character is a little inspired in me, I guess.
Yeah.
The next question kind of comes from, I'm going to kind of bunch a couple of them together. You guys will jump off any fucking cliff that you can find, I think. How does one go about finding a safe and good place to cliff jump?
You always, scuba or snorkel masks, face mask and snorkel are always in our bags.
Okay.
Because we love swimming, especially finding clear water. So you always send someone down below, and you dive down. You make sure if you can't see the bottom, we'll get multiple people and we'll do like multiple dives and make sure there's no obstacles.
You gotta go real deep, You're just feeling around and make sure there's nothing in the water.
Yeah, the water. Yeah, you just gotta make sure there's nothing there. So you're always checking. You never, ever, ever jump without checking the water and knowing what's under. Yeah.
I would think that, but that's one of those like.
Some people don't do it.
Well, I was gonna say, I think being that you guys make a lot of different videos of things like that, I think that might be a cool angle to kind of hit. Like, you want to make a cool cliff jumping video. Not only this is how you film it, but like this is how you live to fucking edit it.
Right.
Like I think that could be a really cool angle.
Yeah.
I just don't see the daredevils showing like, look, there's a lot of thought and preparing behind this. You see us doing flips and jumping over things.
Yeah.
But like this is how we learned how to flip. This is like kind of running that backstory. I think could be a good angle.
What you just said is the most common response we get to the videos we make is people are like, you need to make more like DIY. Like how did you make these videos?
Right.
So we've been taking that into account for our new
there's
YouTube videos.
I'll fix it in post, but it's FJH or FJK photography. It's a photography page that I've fallen in love with as I'm trying to learn how to use my gear and kind of learn different things. But they'll take it'll always be a carousel post. The first one is just this gorgeous, whatever the subject is.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you swipe one and then they're like, this is the aperture, this is the light balance, this is the equipment, and then like you slide and then it'll be labeled of what everything is. So like you see what they're making, but then it's also like, and again, they're posting like once or twice a week because it takes so much time to show that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
To be able to see, all right, so they have that thing covering the light only a little bit to make nothing back here. Like it allows not only the entertainment right off the gate, but the education, and that's kind of the key to content is what I've learned is finding that balance of education, entertainment.
Yeah.
Like if you could find that Venn diagram to get like dead in the middle of there,
that's smart, man. I like that.
That's where you're hitting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A couple more. I don't know if you guys saw. I shared this one earlier today. I was trying not to. I watched a ton of shit in the last couple of days, and I was trying not to like too many things. So you'd be like, "Oh look, this dude's fucking killing. He's gonna know all of these things." The Sam Fox automobile video.
Oh yeah.
It's my favorite song of the week, without a doubt. Like the song by itself, and anything with dogs driving a Jeep, it wins. Walk me behind. Kind of, you had a whole bunch of different. Was that shot here? How did that video come about?
I'll let Mark take this because I was cinematographer. Mark directed that video though.
Nice. For that video, it was actually a entry for the Road Reel competition. And Braxton from the band Sam Fox came to us with this idea. And basically his idea was like, I think it'd be cool if like, I was hanging out with my homies in the band, but it was like dogs instead of us.
Right.
And that's kind of all we had, and we ran with it. So we gathered up all the dogs we could amongst our friends and
signed them to each person.
I think I definitely saw some of your dogs in there, right?
Yep.
Some starring roles for your dogs too. I think that was kind of preferential treatment.
Yeah. Well, we were trying to get dogs that were like fitting for like different characters, I guess.
And they had to be good with other dogs and be good, like pretty good dogs,
right?
Too. So it's
just
take any dog,
Sounds like you guys should have called Josh and be like, hey man, what dogs are doing good at the doggy place? That
was before that, but Josh did help us on that video.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, we try to like cast them based on like their appearance and like colors, kind of, you know. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was difficult.
How'd you guys make it look like the dog was driving the car?
Push the car.
Yeah, we had the car in neutral, and I mean it was many takes, but just trying to get the dog to stay put.
So I was on a skateboard sitting with the camera, and I had someone pushing me, and then we had someone push the car. There's actually
like four people who probably pushed the car.
Yeah, there's a great behind the scenes video of that, because part of the contest was we had to make a behind the scenes video.
Okay. I think I missed behind the scenes.
Yeah, you should check it out.
Did we upload that?
Yeah.
Oh, did we did?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember.
I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah, I hope it's there. It's a cool video.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one in a while.
I think that one too. That was scroll down. That was a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube for sure.
I know
Our
it's
buddy
on YouTube,
edited it for us.
Like to me, that's kind of like you guys beat the TikTok trend of how everybody does the like boom frame and then kind of like comes in a different outfit.
Yeah.
You guys went boom frame and the lady just turned into a dog.
Yeah,
It's so much better than some little valley girl be like, oh look, now I look like I don't have makeup on. Like get out of here with this shit.
That was a super fun video though, and that was like a 16-hour shoot though. We shot the entire video in one day. No, there was one other day.
The studio session was a different day.
Yeah.
Another kind of lump them together, because another thing that I really like that you guys do is your kind of, I mentioned before, educational pieces of the Polish Boy Challenge, the Burger Challenge. How does somebody make a good review video of a restaurant or a comparison between different retail entities? Because I mean, you guys nailed it. You guys made it look like you could actually go into Hot Sauce Williams and eat.
Yeah.
But you did, but like nobody I know would ever go in there and eat it.
Yeah, it's a
you get it and you go.
It's a dump inside there for sure.
Absolutely.
That was Mark directed that show too. That was a show called not Hot Ones, obviously. Tomato.
Right.
We have a bunch of episodes unedited too.
We shot 4 more episodes. We kind of just have that show on a little hiatus right now. We're just trying to figure out how to efficiently make it, but just some tips. Like we got to a point, we shot a couple episodes and we're like, you know what? We need to shoot 2 episodes at once. So we started shooting 2 episodes in one day.
See, I was thinking of something like that. When I was sitting here and you were doing all those things there, I was like, if they could just bring in, a couple different foods and have everything set up, and then, obviously, even if you change clothes and make it look like you did it different.
That's what we would do. We'd change clothes.
Yeah, we bring 2 outfits.
I'm learning my magic.
Yeah.
It only took having one magician on the show to figure out how people do magic.
That was more about, I think if the show was only me and Sam, we wouldn't necessarily do it that way, but because we had that third person, our friend Vaughn, who's
my wife somehow loves him, by the way. That was one of those weird things. I was like, oh, check out this video.
A lot of people know Vaughn. Yeah.
Right. I go anywhere I go in Cleveland, he like knows people, especially if it's like food involved.
Yeah, he's a chef.
So. He's a chef.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that one, and the other. You guys made me. I used to think Instacart. I never really used it, but I was like, "This is a great idea." After watching your little takedown of Instacart, I was like, "These people are fucking ridiculous." I like it. I like the idea. I love Aldi, but that's lying.
Yeah, it is pretty shady.
It's like charge
for those of you that haven't seen it. If you want to give a quick explanation of it.
Well, basically, you pay a fee to have groceries delivered to you from Aldi. But they're also upcharging all the groceries online.
But they don't tell you that.
It
small print 20 or 30% on a couple of things it seemed too.
Yeah, it was like quite a bit. It adds up to like several dollars per time you buy groceries. But the small print says like prices may vary in store, but you're kind of just like, yeah, sure, they might vary like a little bit, but not like you're upcharging me on everything.
After you're already paying a fee.
Yeah, 25 cents to the 50 cents. It's like, do one or the other, in my opinion. Like, upcharge everything and don't charge a fee, or charge a fee and the groceries are the same price.
We're working on a couple Apple videos here coming out soon too. So
watch out for those. I just found the behind the scenes.
The Sam Fox. Yeah.
Check that. The one that doesn't have the full red bars.
Yeah.
Is the only one.
There you go. Yeah, we got some takedown Apple videos coming out here soon too. So
we got some dirt on Apple.
Yeah.
Do I not want this anymore?
No, I love Apple.
I still love Apple, but some shady things.
Kind of like how they're intentionally slow your shit down after a while and all those type of things? Or?
No, they tried to rob me of $1,100 2 weeks ago. Ooh. For a computer part that was not broken. Ooh. But everyone's telling me it was broken until I pulled out a charger in Genius bar and was like, "Oh, how is my logic board broken and my computer's turning on?"
Right. Those two don't go together.
Yeah.
That
was very shady. Yeah.
We had a brand new iPhone 11 Pro.
Yeah.
And I was making a review video about it.
Uh-huh.
Out of the box, I was one of the first ones to like have one, you know? And it started scratching up the screen so bad within like 2 days. It was just like absolutely
it was
destroyed.
An iPhone 1 or something.
With like micro scratches. Scratched up worse than my like 6S that I've had for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I literally wasn't doing anything to it, you know? I'm like, what the hell? This screen is supposed to be scratch resistant.
Right.
I had to go into the store like 4 times before they like replaced it. They kept trying to like get me to buy AppleCare. Well, look at this one, dude. I've had this one for, you know, since November. It's not very scratched up.
That's smooth.
Yeah,
You're doing
so there was something wrong.
That's with like the heavy duty unbreakable screen protector.
Right.
I broke it in 4 places. I stopped getting if Apple could just make a screen that could withstand a drop from here to that floor, it would be fantastic.
Yeah, right.
You know,
They'll get there, I guess.
That was one of my best kind of cut frames. Like I was saying earlier, it was kind of weird for me being on camera for a while. I did the podcast awards. Our buddy Skuff won one, and Cabin. You guys know Cabin?
Mm-hmm.
Cabin won most views for last season.
Oh, nice.
But I'm doing an unboxing video, and I don't do many of them. And I was like, but this would be good content for the award ceremony, you know, because the award was I made mugs, kind of like.
Oh, cool.
I don't like non-functional shit for myself, you know. So like I was like,
Yeah.
I was playing around with like the little 3D printer things at the library, and I was like, I don't really like how any of this is turning out. I was like, I did a big order of mugs for a customer, and I was like, I'm gonna make a functional award. As soon as I try to open up the thing, it just drops from like here to the floor, and I just look at the camera, just like, like I gotta buy a new one now. Like,
yeah,
like I didn't even look down to see anything, but I'm like, I had a schedule that him and Casey were coming over in like 3 days to like take the awards up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I looked down, I was like, oh, it's not broken. Thank God for carpet.
Wow.
You know, like then I've dropped my iPhone from like my sitting down in my coupe of my car to the ground, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
1 foot just shattered the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The last one I wanted to do was you guys. What's the name of your lights? The little square ones.
They're called scorpion lights.
I don't feel like that's the.
Oh, the Loom Cubes.
Loom Cubes.
Loom Cubes. Yeah.
You guys had. How did that happen? Of them sending you Loom Cubes? Did you guys reach out to them? Did they find your videos? How did that happen?
So I found Loom Cube. I was like advertised to them years ago, and I bought one, and it was awesome because I loved how it's waterproof, and I do a lot of diving and stuff. And then
I think eventually they reposted.
Oh yeah, they reposted
a
Skeleton Stewdios post.
It was like old.
Okay.
They reposted it one day,
and we were stoked because they got like a bunch of views on their Instagram, and then I just messaged them. I was like, hey, you guys reposted this. We love your product. Could you send your new product and we'll compare it to your old one? Mm-hmm. And they did. And then we've just been ambassadors ever since.
That's awesome.
We actually have a review of the Loom Cube 2 coming out. I'm a little late on it right now, but the Loom Cube 2 is coming out soon on our channel, hopefully. Nice. We really love the product, and our audience and YouTube responded like really well to it too.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's always that interesting thing of people, you know, everybody wants to be that YouTube celebrity, that YouTube star, the sponsored ad, you know, all those things, but you guys put in, you know, thousands and thousands of hours before the first person sends you something, and so many people don't see that.
Yeah, that's so true.
You gotta reach out to. You can reach out to companies, and you gotta have something to show for it. You know, you have to have work to show.
Right.
And then maybe they will send you something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you guys kind of touched on that in a few of your videos of, you know, if we were too afraid to put something out, we wouldn't have got to this point. But we keep working, we keep trying new things, and you know, by the grace of you made something of content about something you liked.
Yeah.
2 years later, however long ago it was, that brand saw it and was like, oh yeah.
That post that they posted was from a Skuff Micksun music video too.
Nice.
Things just like seemingly kind of stack up.
Right.
You know, you take a free music video that you got to make with a friend. I didn't know how I was gonna get this one shot. I needed like underwater, so I rig a Loom Cube to it. They repost it. I tell them, and then before you know it, they send us every new product they put out.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Was that Dive? Which one was that?
Dive, yeah.
So another camera trick that I'm really interested in, I think it was the Dive one.
Yeah.
Was it? How did you get Skuff to fly out of the garbage can so much? Was there like a stool in there? Like
Do you know JR? Do you know his friend JR?
No.
So we had a human being inside of that garbage can.
Okay.
And then Casey like
on
stood on his shoulders and we launched him out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like you could tell like the one way like you guys just like reverse the film or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when he goes like back into it.
Wait, when he goes into it's nothing's reversed. So when
I'm
he goes
thinking of something else, but like in my head I was like, how did they get him boosted so much? I figured there had to be something he jumped off of.
Yeah.
So know there's a human is so much.
There's a human in both.
Okay.
When he went into the trash can, there was someone in there grabbing him.
Okay.
Yeah, and he also had a light in there. And then it was JR. And then to eject him, we had him in there too.
That's awesome.
And that also helped Casey. We'd like load JR down, and Casey would get in, and then I'd put all the newspapers in, and Casey would hold them, and then be like, action, and it'd be like, oh, Casey would like flip around and land on his back and be like, oh, and I'd be like, oh, no, new take, you could see JR's hand.
Same with going into the garbage can, slamming on top of JR, we're like, no, that was awkward, you gotta do it again.
Oh, man.
And that's the same one where I think it was you that kept following him into the water, right? Jumping off the pier?
Yeah, we had to do that a few takes too.
And how do you know, like you're doing these things multiple takes, as the director, as the creatives, how do you know when like that's the take?
You feel it. Yeah, you feel it.
It's kind of you just done enough in post and everything else to kind of know how that could adapt or things like that.
It's good to review your footage, make sure it looked how you really wanted it to.
Usually when you're jazzed on it though, it's the one.
Right. Just that feeling of like, all right, there it is.
Yeah, especially with that video too, it's really easy to know when I had a take because we storyboarded it so well.
Right.
Like I actually have in my archives over there, Dive in drawn out format, and it's sweet because you can just like flip through it and like see the video.
Yeah, I really like the behind the scenes video of it.
Yeah, we did like a lot of them on Casey's channel.
Yeah,
we did like 4 behind the scenes videos or something.
Yeah, your and his, I'm pretty thorough on the discography. Where his, I was able, as soon as you guys would get the benefit of this too. As soon as I make the article, the podcast, there's also the article component of it too.
Oh, okay.
Where on colinsconversations.com, I kind of do a write-up of like, this was my experience either doing the podcast or like that varies like based on the guest. Like this will be more involved because like I had to leave the house, so like it's the whole thing of like this is what the studio is about. But kind of giving the whole idea behind my marketing philosophy with Colin Can Help and everything is getting everything that you can into as many mediums as you can, telling the same story in audio and video, and then I'll write the story out, kind of.
Yeah.
That way, no matter which way you like to learn or take in entertainment, like I'm hitting that box somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you might not have time to, however many hours of footage we end up getting out of this, like you might not have time to watch all that, but if you could just read a quick 300-word synopsis, which also then has a playlist of all the Skeleton videos or, different things that you guys have done.
Yeah.
Like, to me, my goal with podcasting is a lot of the, like, Casey's a perfect example. I guarantee, as long as the dude doesn't get hit by a truck, he's doing huge fucking things in the music industry. Like, each 2 months he gets levels that you didn't even know that were coming.
Yep.
Where in years, once hundreds and thousands of people are going to go look for him or Kevin or you guys or any of that, when you see that Colin's Conversation had them well before they were on, you're like, look, like that's what the show's about.
Yep.
Creatives, entrepreneurs, like this is how they got their start.
Yeah, absolutely.
It might only have 100 videos today, but if it hits 1,000 in a year, or whatever, like it's stocks you see grow, content. You're like, one day that's going to hit. Like, I spent the time. I didn't get paid to make that video, but like one day that's either going to hit monetarily wise or open the door to be like, I was listening to this song and I really like the way you film an interview or whatever,
Yeah, it's huge, man. That happened like 2 times last week with Instagram posts. Like 2-year-old Instagram posts got picked up and were reposted. We got posted by Shitty Rigs, which is one of my favorite Instagram accounts, and it was so dope, dude. We posted it 2 years ago, and it just got picked up the other day because of hashtags.
Right.
And it's just like so cool, man. We saw like famous people liking our post. I was like, sweet.
Whether posts do well or not, you're always dialing in your craft,
Absolutely.
So it's like keep making, keep creating. You're always going to be getting better. That's what we always, are thankful for.
Yeah, absolutely. And to kind of, I want to get a little bit into that in the business end of it for this last little portion of it. You mentioned earlier you guys are using Final Cut. I see a whole bunch of gear here. If somebody was going to be in the shoes you were years ago and you were going to put together a content creator starter kit,
Ooh, I'm all into this kind of thing.
You could pick any budget that you want, but you guys have lived these shoes, so you understand what's feasible for people.
Yeah.
But tell people, if you were going to put together just a regular content kit, what would it be in both software and hardware wise?
I would immediately take a loan out and get your computer, whether you had the money or not. Try to put down a good chunk.
Well, even better advice, without taking a loan out, you could get a credit card and do a 0% interest, 18-month financing.
Yep.
And
Barclay, thank you, Barclay.
Get a Barclay card and get yourself an Apple computer.
If you can't get approved, get somebody who can help you to get approved.
Working on your credit.
Huge.
I was telling you, I had that iMac, and my wife was just so mad at me, always complaining about. She's like, you've got credit, like go get one. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna apply for the Apple credit card, but I'm thinking in my head, like, I'd already had a little bit of debt from our wedding and things. I'm like, they should say no, and that should just kind of put that at bay.
Oh, they'll give it to you.
And then I was like, boom, 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 and I was like, and I even like way underbid on like my income for the year and everything. And they're like, here's $2,500. You're like, you knew my cart was at $2,400. That's why you gave me that extra little tax wiggle.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's the first thing though, because that saves you time. If you're working on an old machine, it's gonna be frustrating. You're gonna get angry. It's gonna waste your time. So computer's the first thing.
Now, are we going with a laptop, or would you push somebody to go towards a desktop?
Laptop.
I think I would push laptop too, but I think it depends on the kind of content you're making and kind of lifestyle you live. We travel a ton. We like to work on the go and whatnot, so that's why a laptop makes sense for us. But I did have a desktop prior to my laptop. It was frustrating to me because I wanted to move it a lot, but at the time we had our office in my attic.
It was great.
It was working out.
So if you're a homebody, you get a lot more bang for your buck with the desktop.
Yeah, it can be more powerful for the similar amount of money.
So we have our Apple. I mean, that gets you, GarageBand, and gets you iMovie, things like that.
If you don't know how to edit, iMovie is a good place to start.
I still love iMovie. Like I've learned a lot about Premiere in the last year, and I still use iMovie to do my basic cuts. I feel like it's a lot easier to like cut and zoom in that, and then take it into Premiere to kind of throw more effects or more blur to it.
I would go, I think it's $199 to get Final Cut. The only reason why, I think like Mark said, it can be good to start on iMovie, but you develop a lot of bad habits, and it'd be better, in my opinion, to just start right off the rip with the Final Cut.
For sure.
YouTube is a great educational resource. You can search around YouTube and find someone that you like the way they teach, you like the way their videos are. People love Peter McKinnon for the Adobe side of things.
Right.
So that would be Premiere. But you could also find someone that does the Final Cut side of things, like DSLR shooter.
Oh yeah, Caleb Pike.
Dude's cool. But there's tons of people out there. Find whoever you like and educate yourself. One step at a time.
Yeah,
absolutely. And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, camera-wise.
I was just gonna go in that piece by piece.
Okay, for sure.
So
go ahead.
We're going content-wise. I mean, me being a podcaster, I've realized there's a lot more value in also having a video version. And even like I said, I started off with a cell phone camera, moved up to the DSLR. Give me a couple more years, leaps and bounds, and I'll have all this cool shit that you guys got. I'm already taking notes. I'm like, I want it. But like, as far as a camera, this is something that's good for vlogging, something that's good for also being able to use as a professional tool.
Yeah.
Where would you guys push people, and are there any brands that you kind of stay away from, or is there just a golden goat?
I think if you give yourself a $1,000 budget, you can go with any brand nowadays. It wasn't like this when we started, but now, I mean, anything's
It's not like the
good.
little DV tape that you first had?
Yeah. I mean, Canon puts out a great image without doing much post-editing. Right. So I tend to push people towards that. You could get like a 80D or a 90D. Buy used. There's absolutely no reason to have new equipment. You could buy used or refurbished if you're on a budget.
And you were mentioning earlier that it's not necessarily the body that's important, but the lens.
Get a good lens.
How do you find a good lens?
YouTube.
Just kind of go through the reviews and see how people are using it, and if it's the same applications that you want, or
and they have different lenses for different camera bodies, and you can get into converters and all that if you want. But just do your research. There's definitely a general consensus online. Certain lenses are like hey, this is pretty affordable and really good for the price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this lens on this camera it's the Sigma 18-35, and that's a $600 lens, which sounds a lot, but that is like, for what it gives you,
Right.
there are people that put that lens on Reds and shoot movies with it.
That's crazy.
Like, that's how sharp and good it is.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's a killer lens for sure, dude. $600.
Even with the camera body and lens, I would even give advice to people to start with your cell phone. Like the new iPhones, like even the XR, the iPhone 11, or even the X, they all have incredible cameras on them, and there's no reason you can't start with that.
Right.
And see if this is something that you really want to do.
Yeah.
Because it is very glorious to watch YouTubers and stuff. It is, it's glorified. I mean, it's so much more work than you can imagine.
Oh, I fully. I don't know nearly as much as you guys, but just from the basic of filming two guys sitting in my fucking living room, like,
yeah,
like it's an hour. You see an hour video here, but you don't see the 8 to 10 hours that I put every time that you saw you look at the camera, and you'd be like, all right, he looked at the camera, now we should go dead on him, or
right,
trying to transition every time a beat goes to have it flip on that, like, what did you say? Every 3 seconds you watch, 2 minutes worth, or give or take. I mean, I'm sure it changes on the project, but the amount of time that goes into it is, unless you've made them, you have no idea.
But for cameras and lenses, man, just do a little bit of research. They're all good now. Like, it didn't used to be like that, but like every camera company's putting out good stuff.
Yeah, save your money, take into account of dropping schedules for cameras too. Like, if it is September and you know that a whole line of new cameras is about to come out in a month for the brand you're looking at, wait, you don't necessarily have to buy the new one, but the one you're looking at is going to drop in price.
Kind of like the car lot. You don't want to go buy that 2019 model in December.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Absolutely. And you mentioned before, kind of something that I've quickly learned, is that lighting is almost more important than the camera itself. I first started off using a fucking, like the Walmart, like 3-click, like our living room light, and kind of like just angling it down to putting it on people and things like that. And then I've upgraded to two, is it Newer? N-E-E-W-E-R?
Yeah.
I felt so good when I saw that you had a bag over there that had the same brand. I was like, at least I got something. But I got two soft.
They make affordable stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of just that original thing that I wanted to try out. Like, I went to Invasion Studios and did a couple interviews there with a couple guys, and they had the same set that I bought, and same kind of like the lav mic thing. I was like, called up Adi. I was like, hey, I've filmed twice there now. I love the results that I'm getting from your lights. Like, send me the link.
Right.
And I'm so happy to find out that 2 set was like $75.
Yeah.
So like, I could do that.
Right.
Is lighting different for all applications, or is there kind of just a universal piece, kind of that first collector thing? Where did you kind of spend your first initial lighting money?
Well, first off, like we didn't talk about Crybaby Ridge, but that was one of our first film videos we put out.
Yeah.
We shot that on tap lights. So we made our own. We took
like
those
the little LED tap lights.
Yeah, that you click them in.
Right.
Yeah, we did that, and then we put a diffuser on it. Powered by battery, and we did 4 of them.
Okay.
Now that worked all right. It was a pain in the ass though,
Right.
So
very time consuming, annoying. They were turning off, and you have to change batteries sometimes. But you can do things on a budget, DIY style. It just really depends on how much money you have to spend, how invested are you in this. I would take things step by step, and don't just go out and spend $5,000 on stuff.
Absolutely.
You haven't made any movies yet.
For sure.
Diffuse lighting though too.
Yeah.
That's just diffuse stuff. You see those. I don't know, the audience can't see that, but there's some China balls over there. You can get China balls for $1 a piece. You pop in an LED bulb and you put 3 points of lighting there, and you're gonna look great on it.
And then
there's so many options in lighting.
What's the material that you put that little clear thing over the lights to add to color? Was that
gel? It's called a gel.
Gel?
Yeah, gels are cheap too. You can get a whole pack of them for $22.
Right.
Yeah, but diffuse light really makes blemishes in the face and stuff look better. This is extremely diffused right now.
Instead of having really hard shadows from one direct source of light, it'll kind of.
Right.
Yeah, but this, once again, if you're trying to start off, there's not a better time ever in the world. The reason why we did tap lights and stuff, Just because there wasn't any good battery option then. That was in 2015, and now it's just like the market's flooded with them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
and what about drones? Because to me, that's something that really separates the enthusiast from the professional, is being able to cut in. You guys got the skylines of, Cleveland or Chicago, where you're hiking and you get the full woods picture. I've seen drones as low as $40. I've seen them $40,000.
Yeah.
What is the best way to spend your drone money?
DJI only, in my opinion.
That's a brand?
DJI is a brand. Yeah, it's a Chinese, it's like a Chinese Apple almost. They're huge.
Okay.
They have 2 drones out that are worth buying that are under $500. There's a Mavic Mini, which is what I'd go for. It's $400, $399. It's excellent. It'll get you beautiful shots. It's tiny. It's not a huge investment.
Good thing to learn with.
Yeah, good thing to learn with. You can do hundreds of hours on it. If it crashes, you can send it in for repair for probably $100.
Nice.
So it's not like it's gone.
Right.
Like we have sent DJI drones in over and over and over again, and our bill is like $200.
Nice.
You crashed a $2,200 drone, and they send you a $200 bill, and it's like, wow. I'm talking about like
not even always $200.
Yeah, I'm talking about in pieces too.
Sometimes it'll be $120, and it's like the camera's hanging off, legs broken.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
I dropped a drone a couple years ago from 60 feet, and the camera was like 10 feet away from the drone. And
wow.
It was like
that's
$150.
crazy.
But yeah, and then there's another one called the Spark, and that one's a little bit cheaper. Doesn't have as many features, but yeah, DJI is the way to go.
And is there a big learning curve using them? I mean, you guys make the footage look super smooth and everything. Is that?
It's like playing a video game. Over time, you get good at it. It's like playing Call of Duty or something.
Gotcha.
Like straight up. If you're looking at a screen, it's a
Once
controller.
you understand the controls, like, okay.
Yeah.
Just watch out for obstacles. Watch out for power lines and trees. Like those are your biggest obstacles.
Are there any regulations on flying them in different areas or anything like that?
That's the one reason why I'd want the Mavic Mini too. It's underneath the weight limit to be. You still have to obey laws, but you can't. It doesn't have to be licensed underneath the FAA.
Okay.
So I'd recommend that one for starting off for sure. But yeah, you got to know your limits. You can't fly over 300 feet.
You can't fly over people. You can't fly over cars.
Yeah.
But like
you can get yourself in
you
big
can fly
trouble.
on the side of the road for sure.
Is there any how do they enforce stuff like that? Is just if the right officer's having a bad day and they see you, or
they don't even seem to really know the laws that much.
But if you run into a sticky situation where you injured someone with a drone, like they could sue the shit out of you.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be a jackass.
If you want to profit from droning, you need to get your commercial pilot's license.
It's called a Part 107 FAA drone license.
That sounds like fully official. You guys have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very official. You have to take like a pilot's test. It's
actually the lowest level pilot's license that you can get
to play a video game. That's crazy,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
You've been doing that since 1992 every day.
Yeah, but if you want to accept money and transaction legally, you have to have that in the U.S.
And are you guys doing anything like selling stock footage of stuff like that, or kind of just all keeping it in the vaults for yourself?
Mostly just to clients on specific projects, but I think we will be, on our next camera system, we're probably going to make a big push with getting our stock footage up on multiple websites.
Yeah, 8K is getting really popular right now, so.
It's amazing how fast technology goes past, isn't it?
It's crazy, right?
Like I always go back to when I started selling computers at Micro Center. A 1 gig flash drive, USB 2.0 back then, I think.
Yeah.
People thought it was a deal that the Micro Center brand was like $20.
I remember buying it because I have a ton of them.
Yeah, and now the 64 gig card that's in my camera is like $3 or whatever.
See the terabyte ones that came out?
Yeah, it's crazy what storage can do nowadays.
It's awesome.
The last the last thing of what you guys do, it's something that I'm interested in that I can't figure out how to do well at all, is color correction.
Mm-hmm.
For an idiot that's just trying to really start to get into things, are there any rules of thumb, or just how can somebody step their color correction game up?
I would mess with the exposure levels. I don't know if you can do that, or I don't know what it is in iMovie, but if you're
can't
in
do much in iMovie at all.
if you're in Premiere and Final Cut, mess with your exposure levels a little bit to make things look right.
Mm-hmm.
You can change your highs, your mids, and your darks, and make sure you do it at the beginning of your project, or just if you're mixing in a bunch of different things, do all the footage of the one location at once, and then you can
uniformity together.
apply it all at once, and then it won't be like all over the place in your timeline. I mean, for a podcast, it'll all be the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Mark's talking about post-production too, but as far as pre-production, you want to make sure your white balance is correct. So like if you...
And by correct, you kind of just want it like almost flat across the board instead of like random spikes.
Well, no, like on your camera. So like right now so there's Kelvin is the color temperature of light. This light is like 5500, which is daylight, 5500K. So you want your camera to be set at 5500K.
Gotcha.
Because then your camera science knows what to reference off of skin tones and all that
Gotcha.
stuff. So if you're outside, you don't want it to be set on tungsten. You want it to be set at daylight.
Okay.
It's like how yellow to blue it is, and how green to magenta it is.
Yep. And then also a lot of cameras will allow you to make a custom setting. And what you do is you drop your sharpness and your contrast and your saturation to low, so it's flat. And then when you put it into post, you can boost all that and have actual control over it.
Gotcha.
But the white balance is going to give you the best control at the start over your post-production.
Yeah, so those are those little things that like, as soon as you learn a little bit of those, you're looking at all those gigabytes of footage that you have, and you're like, I should have done that shit to all of you guys.
It's crazy the amount of stuff you can learn. Like us in year one, like
had no clue what's going on.
Us talking to year one version of us right now, we'd be like,
I'd be like,
hell are you talking about?
It's like hundreds of hours of watching YouTube videos, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned landscaping business, I've learned marketing business, I've learned I get so mad if anybody tells me they don't know how to do something.
Yeah.
Like it almost starts to like get a rage in me. I'm like, I don't know how to do that either, but within 45 minutes, I could have 15 experts show me step by step of how to do that. You know, like, and then I watch that, then I go try. You know, like
I love YouTube, man. It's
the best.
Though with YouTube, the only thing that they're lacking, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to go like car repair type things on YouTube. Everybody making car repair shit is in the South or in the West. There's nobody making a video. All right, we're gonna put PB Blaster on this for about 3 days.
Right.
You know, like there's nobody like with any like real. Like you're like, all right, that looks easy. You go outside, you're like, the underbody on my truck doesn't look like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you gotta figure something out up in Northeast Ohio, man. Like underbody sprays or something. Man.
I mean, they do that, and it still turns to shit.
Yeah.
The first time when I went out to Seattle, I was looking at Dodge Ram pickup trucks, like thinking of how can I take 2 doors off of one and put it on top of my Kia and go back across the country? Because like the panels here, everyone has the same things rusted. I was like, if I just take all these side panels, I could make a killing back home.
You gotta quit salt. You gotta figure something else besides salt.
Like out west they do sand. I don't know why we don't do sand.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Like we have tons of it.
Yeah. It's not like we're getting like dunked on, you know? It's like...
Oh, maybe we can change that. Let's start. Let's make a video.
I made a tweet the other day. I think you guys would be on board with this. A lot of cop cars are SUVs now, right?
Yeah.
Why have you never seen a fucking plow on a cop SUV car? I've seen people like it clicked one day when I watched somebody.
Makes sense.
When I saw somebody get pulled over on this horrible snow day, I was like, instead of hassling that guy, if you just put a salt rack on the back and a plow up front, because even if you had to chase somebody, plow them off the road at that point. So like, if you're just patrolling back and forth, there's no reason to have these huge trucks.
Right.
You got 15 cops, put them on, serve and protect, right? The last thing I want to get your knowledge on before we get out of here, I know we've been running for a while. You guys are independents, you're creatives, but you're also a business. It's something I'm really interested in, seeing how people both build the creative side and build the business side. Yeah. What are you guys doing to get clients and to keep this beautiful place open? Like, what's the best way that you guys go about getting? Is it just people see your work and coming to you, or do you have to do outreach?
It's a mix of both, for sure.
A little bit of both. It's definitely good to put work out there. That is definitely how we got our momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
you guys kind of start off doing free projects for people that turn into something else,
or even just doing creative projects.
Yeah.
But even if you're going to reach out to people, you have to have something to reference.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just like a page with text. Like, how are they going to trust you?
And going the route we did too, with the very creative way, was a lot slower than a normal business would grow. I think we're not like necessarily super behind, but like scaling a lot slower because of we wanted to have an integrity with the work that we were doing.
Right.
So like saying no or not continuing work with certain people because we didn't like it. It's constantly reassessing, all the time we're reassessing how we're feeling about things.
For sure.
And pivoting and changing.
We're trying to live our dream job here.
Right. We're like, man,
you can
this
tell by the
sucks.
studio.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we want this to be fun and enjoyable. That's why we did it. So
yeah. So we took a lower wage for a long time, and it's been growing now. But I would rather take a lower wage for a while than to kind of sell out over money, you know.
And like hate your life. It's like, why are you doing this? I need to work any other job and it would be easier.
Yeah, we both
providing the work.
Yeah, we both did like good in school and stuff. Like we could be doing very, very high paying jobs if we had gone that route, you know. So it's like we did this, so let's actually try to live the dream and make sure we're enjoying every minute of it. You know, loving the process. Absolutely.
You were going to go for radiation tech. What were you going for?
I was
if you weren't going to be doing this.
I was going to be a teacher.
Teacher? That's so funny you said that, but keep going before I put my piece in.
Yeah, no, I was going to be a teacher, but I actually originally was trying to go to military school, but yeah, then a teacher.
That long hair that you sported for so long, I don't think would have flown too well.
I realized that I don't like people telling me what to do, so I kind of backed out of that real quick.
I love the idea of like the discipline and the training and the physical, but like coming to my place at 4 a.m. banging some shit, yelling at me, like that's not going well, man. But I also, that's why I said it was funny, is I originally wanted to be an elementary school gym teacher.
Oh, really? Killer job.
The idea was do that, and then in the summer do landscaping and construction and kind of make my money and go back and just have a sweet job.
You could make the lower paying teaching job really
you know,
pay out that way.
Go make a $50,000 in the summer to make up for the $30,000 or whatever they pay a teacher, and kind of do what I like, but then also do what I also like.
For sure.
Couldn't pass algebra. Like, I'm retarded when it comes to algebra. Colin's conversations, you're allowed to say retarded. Nowadays, you're not allowed to say that in so many places. We still let it fly. But like, I couldn't understand. I was like, I want to teach elementary school gym. I could balance a grade book in my head. My arithmetic is boom, boom, boom. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. I got it. But like, we get to slope, and my brain's like, we don't need this shit. Turn off.
Right.
You know, I've tried it at Lakeland. I tried it at Lorraine. Like, I've kept failing the same thing, and it's like, I could pass business math. So why don't I just kind of revisit the teaching thing later in life? And that's kind of where the marketing thing kicked in of like, I get to create, but I also get to teach. Where like not too many people, like you said, I've thrown so much extra money back off my table of like, let me build your site for you.
Yeah.
Let me teach you how to maintain it. I don't want you calling me to be like, update. Like, I could get more money that way, but I'd rather teach you the skills so that you could do it.
Yeah.
You know, like, let me get it up and running. Unless you don't want to do it at all, then you're going to pay me every bit that I want.
So you're kind of indirectly being a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Like, I'm not doing gym teacher anymore, which has been way sweeter than, you know, doing coding and things like that. But, you know, like, finding a way to still get that teaching itch out.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's cool.
You mentioned that you guys took a lower rate for a long time. Mm-hmm. That's something that a lot of freelancers, a lot of creatives kind of struggle with, is how do you determine what your rates are or what you want for a project or things like that? How do you just determine which ways you go monetarily?
Usually throw out a quote, run the job, and then reassess.
How do you come up with that quote? Just based off of other creatives or?
Well, basically, you're just like projecting how long a job will take you.
Right.
Yeah. And obviously, you're going to be wildly much worse at this.
Right.
You know, the less jobs that you've done. But once you start doing a bunch of jobs, and also you'll be faster and better and more efficient. But that doesn't mean you should keep charging less. That means you're getting better, so charge more. You have better equipment, so charge more. And, you know, just keep yourself at a place where you feel good about your hourly. And, you know, don't say just what you think the client will accept. Say what you want to make, and if the client doesn't accept, then maybe that job wasn't for you.
Right.
You can't say yes to every $1,000 offer. I mean, you know, it's like people sometimes ask us for music videos and they want to spend like a couple $100, and it's like we're 4 figures to, you know,
to like start a music video. You know, that's not being cocky. It's just like
that's just what goes into it.
A music video is going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, it's like if you want to pay me $200, you get one of us, and it better take me about 4 hours to start and finish.
Right.
You know, because I'm only making, you know, that's $50 an hour, but
after you pay taxes and rent and
that's not good money.
There's no way.
With that too, a lot of people are thinking, you know, you mentioned that lens alone is $600.
Yeah.
So if I come and that lens breaks, like I need something to make it worth my time that I brought my equipment out for.
Right.
That I learned that struggle with landscaping.
Yeah.
The first name that I went with was Lawns for Less. Great fucking name. I don't care what anybody says. It's catchy, it's quick, it's 2 L's. Colin's Conversations. I love the double consonants. Like, it works well for me. But I would attract people that thought they could call me and get a half acre of grass mowed for $10.
Right.
Oh, Lawns for Less? Like, yeah, that means it's less than the $50 guy, but it's still $35.
Right.
Like, same thing. You know, I'm showing up with a truck, my lawnmower is $3,000, and it's a little one. You know, like...
burning gas.
Yeah, like, have you seen gas? Gas is $4 a gallon. Once I throw the mixed oil in it, that's $8.
There.
Yeah, you know, and all of the above. Or if you got labor, you know, you want me to drive from Lakewood to Willoughby, that's fine, but you're paying the drive time. Like, I got a guy, I've got to pay him. Like, you want me to go, you know, hey Bill, they don't want to pay for the drive. Can you clock out? Like, nobody's going to say that, you know? But how do you deal with those rejections when you know that you got to deal? You know, you got to pay the lights, you got to pay the camera bill, and you don't want to take that extra work. How do you go about struggles like that as entrepreneurs?
We've been running side jobs for years.
Mm-hmm.
That's one part.
Yeah.
So it's always making sure we're bringing in a little bit of income, and then diversifying your income so that you're not necessarily worried about that one client. Right. You have money coming in from multiple areas.
And don't bite off more than you can chew. You know, we didn't get this studio day one of being a business. We were, building our business for quite some time, and then we got this space, and we were actually splitting this space with another artist for a while too.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's cheaper, and then, you know, over time you're gonna build up your clientele. Like, we are at a point now with our clients where we know we work with certain clients every year, and it's just like we have the studio paid for. You know, it's like anything beyond that, you know, we're doing good.
We also, when we first got the studio, we're paying a good chunk of it out of our own pockets.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like, we wanted this so bad.
You saw that opportunity.
Yeah.
We basically were working full-time jobs on the side, like just regular jobs, not involved with this.
I think you guys had it down to where you take 3 days or something and just kind of lock yourself in and just go all the way.
Yeah, it was like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and half of Wednesday.
Right.
And then we'd work Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and get all our money there.
So and that's where people think, you know, you guys make this nice life of, you know, do what you want, come as you go, but like
7 days a week, man.
Yeah, for
70-hour weeks is...
That's about my normal.
60 to 70 is pretty average.
But we get the ability to be like, Mark's like, yo dude, I want to go, I'm going to dinner tonight with my girlfriend, I got to dip at 5. Just like, sweet.
Right.
Take care of your shit, we're good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like awesome.
Yeah, like at our house, you know, my wife has on my little board of all my shit I gotta get done. This is my work schedule. I'll be home at 9 tonight, or I'm off on Thursday. And like, she doesn't get that same concept to me. Like, I've not been off since I was 22.
Yeah.
Like, once I quit Key Bank and was like, I'm going full on landscaping, and once I quit landscaping, was like, I'm going to figure out how to get marketing to work. Like, I wake up before everybody in the house wakes up, and I go in my office and I sit at my computer and I go through my routine of make content, find client, do client work, make content, you know, kind of just, and then next thing you know, like last night, it was 9:30 she came home. Are you gonna work all night? No, I want to finish up this, you know, this one section. I was making a bunch of cover art for author project I was doing, and I was like, oh, I only got, you know, 15 more to go. I've been knocking them out, you know, 2 or 3 minutes each. Next thing I know, I'm like, I have to stop. It's 12 o'clock, and I said I wasn't working all night. Night is literally gone. It's morning now. You know, but you get in that zone of just like boom, 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 and like you said, like in that exact moment, that feeling of, I just made how much in the last 10 minutes? Because, you know, I'm getting paid by piece of article. Yeah. And you're like, I just knocked out green light on SEO on 16 articles, and I got 16 of these. Yep. It's X amount of dollars. You're like, oh, I don't want to quit. Right. Like, it's that gambler's high of like, no, the craps are still rolling on 7 every time. Like, boom, 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 green light, boom, 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 green light. Like, I'm going to keep on going, man, until the eyeballs are like, oh. But then this morning he called me. He's like, spelled Afghanistan wrong on one of them. Yeah, I did.
It's like, you gotta learn to throw the towel, you know?
But that one too, like, it's a hard word to spell it. It wasn't on spell check. Like, it's the coding thing. It doesn't have spell check, you know? I was like, I was close. You know, nobody from Afghanistan is reading this. It should be good. What did we not cover that you guys feel like you thought we were going to cover?
I don't know. I think we covered a lot.
I think we guys
expecting a lot.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a good interviewing, bro.
Thank you, man.
Some deep dives.
Yeah.
Gotta go with the deep dives. Yeah. Like I said, like, you guys are welcoming me into this huge space. We got thousands of dollars of shit set up. You spend hours setting up beautiful lights. Like, the least I could do is come back with look, I did the research. I know about the things. Like,
yeah.
And that's the cool thing too. On the opposite side of that, being a fan of your guys, like I see the videos. I see, you know, I saw it was empty technically.
Yeah.
But now actually getting to come and see the physical location and make that connection of like, oh yeah, like. Every time you look at this footage, you're like, oh yeah, remember that light went out 4 times or this.
Yeah.
You know, like building those, like that's seeing that YouTube can be real life. I think is something that, like my stepdaughter, she wants to go to Florida so bad just to see Smelly Belly TV. Like I think she's finally out of that one.
Yeah.
But they were running it in our house for the longest. Like,
dude.
And I try to watch some of that, and I'm like.
It's like, ooh, this is stuff.
Yeah, you're like, that's cool that they brought a pig in the house, but other than that, like, what are we watching?
That's one thing I could talk real quick about. How do people still not see the amount of people making full-time wages on YouTube? Like, I still think it's not like a real thing, but everyone watches it still. You know what I mean? Like, it's so strange. Like,
cable to me is dead.
Right.
And YouTube is almost becoming Netflix for a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, I watch more YouTube than anything else.
Like that nighttime before bed, instead of, you know, kind of just the learning something. Now it's like, oh, like you said, let's throw on hot ones for whatever. Or, you know, it's way more accessible and programmable. Like,
yeah, I just like how everyone you can become an aficionado on anything, and not a crazy amount of money, but a decent wage, you know?
Yeah. Like on my end, I'm making no money off views, but the amount of connections that is opened is astonishing to me.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Like, and that's why I tell everybody, like, no matter what you do, start a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially, like I said, I do a lot more with authors lately than anything, which is funny because I hate to read books.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I like doing marketing. You like writing books. Send me the synopsis. Save me 300 pages. You know, like, just give me what I need to know, and I'll make everything work for you. But like, to be able to meet a guy that's an author. Like, I get paid to ghostwrite for authors now.
Oh, that's cool.
Never did I think 5 years ago when I was in high school, nobody would have guessed that I was ghostwriting for anybody.
Right.
You know, like I just wasn't me, but kind of just being open into those opportunities, clicked. You just learn new shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I lied. One thing I do want to cover, we do this off. You guys have been working together for 10 plus years in a creative thing and an entrepreneur. Kind of, you know, taking risks together and working together, and not many people can make partnerships work more than, you know, a year anymore. What advice do you have for other creatives as far as that, finding that collaborative partner and being able to just, I mean, you guys seem like yin and yang, both from in person and on your footage of what you expertise in, and you're both like, I trust you, let's go for your angle. Like, how do you guys build that camaraderie as entrepreneur partners?
I would say, you know, communication is important. You know, express your opinions and consider the other person's opinion too. Yeah. I think it's easy when people are like disagreeing to, you know, get really into your idea, and like sometimes it's just as simple as like, yo, I need to like cool down, so I'm gonna just like stop for a minute and like chill and like think about this. And you know, it's like really consider all perspectives. Like, I think a good example is like Democrats and Republicans. You know, they're very oppositional. They're not considering each other's sides. Right. So you know, you need to really think about the other person's opinion, whether it's something small or something big, and you know, work it out. I think that camera just died.
That's cool. That's all right. Yeah, man. A lot what Mark just said with communication. I think people like build up over time and get like infuriated. You just gotta talk things out.
It's easier.
That's really it.
I always say it's easier to have that 1 minute conversation now than to wait a year and let that shit just build up to be like, you didn't take out the trash 3 months ago. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's just festering and it kind of just hinders everything that you're trying to do.
I think another thing too is we try to be like really fair about everything, and like, you know, really split up workloads, and you know, if we need to help each other with things, like, you know, we help each other. Like, we're not afraid to ask each other for help. Like, you know, it's like, I'm not really good at this, or I don't like this. You know, do you like this? Do you want to do this? And vice versa. You know, that seems to really work out between us. It's like, usually if one of us isn't into one thing or doesn't know how to do one thing, the other person is into it or knows how.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
where you learn together. You guys have a phrase that you say in a lot of your videos, fail forward. Kind of seems to be like the Skeleton motto almost.
Yeah, I mean, you fuck shit up sometimes, and it's just like, you can't like,
Good way to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna make that mistake again, and until your heart drops to the bottom of your stomach, and you're like, oh my god, I just lost that, you know, or whatever happens.
Yeah.
Like, you have some scary moments sometimes, especially like if you have one opportunity to like get a shot and like you're working for a client that's under contract, like you need to make sure nothing's gonna go wrong.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta trust each other too. You know, just make if you really have a friendship that you're trying to. It's hard to go into business with a friend, for sure.
For sure.
We even talked about that a little off camera, but you really got to have trust in each other. So you got to make sure you're with someone.
Right.
You either have to be very, very close and you don't butt heads too much, or maybe you're not so close and you're more acquaintances, and that might even work better, you know.
And I would say definitely know your partner's like work integrity and like work ethics. Like just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean you're gonna be good business partners. Right. I would not go into business with like, I couldn't think of like any other friends right now that I would want to start a business with.
For sure. I mean, like you said, you have to see this mug for what, 18 hours a day at times.
Yeah, dude. And yet we still hang out outside of work, like, believe it or not, which is crazy. Yeah.
I loved your in the Skuff Micksun episode. You guys kind of touched on because like. Being a creative, like it's hard to vibe with a lot of other people, you know, kind of like you guys said, chilling to you guys as you go over to his house and you sit down for 2 or 3 hours and run out video ideas or different things like that. Because to me, that's the same way. Like, I'm like, oh, what can we record or what way can we help whatever project you're working on or what project I'm working on? You know, like to me, work and play is like the same thing because I'm never off work. So like I gotta figure out how to like find people I like to work with. Right. So that way you're like, oh yeah, I gotta go listen to Skuff make new music. Oh, shit's rough. You know? We have a lot of mutual friends and we'll like come meet up at like gatherings and we like actually have to like audibly be like, yo dude, like no more. Don't talk about business because you're annoying. Right. Like you're annoying other people. It's like
let's just not really always entertaining talk to anyone else.
No.
Right. Unless they don't know unless you're in the trenches, you're like you know, because they're clocking out at 5 and they're going home. They're not figuring out how to, you know, reattach those ceiling tiles back to the roof.
Yeah. And most of the time, you're speaking a different language. You know, it's like they don't know what you're even talking about.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's end it.
Okay.
Digital Soapbox. I think that one's off now. I think we still have both of those two running.
For sure.
It's harder with 2 people, but you guys got up to 1 minute to end it on whatever chord you want to do, whatever note.
All right. I'll be inspirational. If you are interested in any type of business or video or whatever you're doing, just make sure it's something that you're extremely passionate about and you're just gonna have a lot of fun for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and to follow that up, follow your passions, you know, explore things you're into, find something you like, and you'll have a lot of fun in life. That was our inspiration behind starting this business. Yeah, time passes really quick. It does not feel like we've been doing this has been official for 4 years and it feels like yesterday, and I'm so glad that we put this time into that. Right. Because if I was where I was 4 years ago, I would not be a happy kid at all, you know? So awesome. Yeah, invest time in yourself and
And where can they find you guys?
Just search Skeleton Stewdios. It is spelled STEWDIOS. We're on everything, but if you just put it in Google, it'll be us for pages.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel because we need more subscribers, please.
I know you guys only got 888. You guys are slacking.
I know. We need more.
Coming up on
Gotta get that 1,000 mark.
Yeah.